Awesome. Good evening, Libra. I'm going to be delivering one of your messages from Spirit today to see what they got to say. So I'm just writing your name down in a book. I wasn't sure if I was going to come do a reading or not, but I'm like, consistency. It's about consistency, right? But yeah, I recently did a relationship read on you to see how you're doing and everything like that. Now I'm just checking to see what the vibes are looking like after the that relationship reading. I did space it out. The last time I did your read, it was on the 5th. So yeah, right after the 4th. So let's see what's going on with you, dear Libra. Yeah, to see what's going on. So, I'm just gonna cleanse my cards. I did order two new decks, some more like romance cards and everything like that. You know what I mean? And then I got some other kind of deck. I forgot what it was, but it should be one should be here tomorrow, and one should be here Monday. So I'm like, yay! And then I also ordered myself a like a candle set. I'm gonna start learning how to make my own candles and everything. So I'm like, it's legit. I'm lighting a cinnamon stick for wealth, prosperity, abundance, keeping our pockets chunky. Because we do like that over here, baby. We're always manifesting money. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I hope whenever you're viewing this, you had a good day. You know what I mean? So, let's see what the vibes is looking like for you, Libra. Let's see what's going on. Hopefully, my computer doesn't turn on. I do have it on sleep. Sleep. So, let's see what's the vibe looking like in your energy, Libra. Okay. Let's see what the vibes are looking like for you, dear Libra. I took a shower. I'm all unwind, dude. See, I got my pimp coat on. I'm like, man. I was like, let me just take down my hair and stuff. There it goes. Oh. Okay. All right, Libra. So honestly, it just looks like, you know what I mean? Like you might be a little bit on edge after leaving, some type of toxic relationship, right? I feel like this person brought a lot of resentment out of you at one point in time. You know what I mean? But it seems like you're starting to take a gamble. You know what I mean? And you're starting to get back out there. It seems. You know what I mean? I think you're trying to get away from making bad decisions in certain cycles and everything like that. But you know what I mean? I feel like this relationship, whatever you came out of, right? It just seems like you're not letting whatever happened in the past hold you back. You're not letting it, prevent you from moving forward within your life. I feel like that's why it feels like you're taking a gamble because it's like maybe, if this relationship didn't go right, you know what I mean? I don't know if you're looking to try dating anew, starting over. Maybe there's a lot of hopeful and wish fulfillment that you're looking for. You're hopeful that maybe stepping out and starting over might be, successful. Yeah, I feel like you definitely got to try on, men or women are like shoes. You got to spin the block a couple times, see if you get the feel, see if you like them or not. You know what I mean? Somebody could be, you know, having some wish fulfillments, maybe, some wishful thinkings. Maybe they wish that, they could get a second chance with you and everything like that. Or maybe this is just you're hopeful for second chances for yourself when it comes to getting back on the dating market. Getting a second chance, getting a second opportunity to possibly meet somebody new, try something new. Like shit, I feel like we should never hold ourselves back from like getting out of a toxic relationship. Of course, you want to, do your due diligence to make sure like you're healing and shit, and like taking the time, to rediscover yourself, redefine and love yourself all over again, and make sure you're not dragging in the baggage into the next relationship. But honestly, Libra, it seems like you know how to balance yourself out. You know how you're gonna be fair, and you know when to stick it to him. You know what I mean? You know when to stick it to the man or woman. You know what I mean? Shit. Okay. Oh. Yeah, it seems um it seems like you're wanting to gain a new you're wanting to step back out there essentially. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like you had to build up your ego. I feel like you had to build up your armor. You had to realize that you are the prize. You know what I mean? I feel like some people might look at it as being like narcissistic when like you're so self assured, you're looking out for yourself, you place yourself as number one. You know what I mean? You before everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like all these things, Libra. But essentially, I feel like we all, in a sense, have to be like that in order to, love ourselves, attract in the person that we want, something like that from. You know what I mean? I feel like you are doing a lot of self reflecting, and I feel like whatever relationship that you did cut off, was about divine intervention. This was protection from you. And, God sent in possibly like Archangel Michael to help you sever these ties, these relationships, whatever epiphany you're gaining on. I feel like you're protected also in that aspect. I feel like it's okay to you know, want to start over. Shit. You might be calling in, someone that carries that divine masculine or that divine, you know, feminine energy, somebody that's sensual and emotional, somebody that's intuitive, connected to their selves. You know what I mean? Somebody that commands respect. You know what I mean? This person can be like disciplined, they can also be like an air sign, or this could be you, Libra. You know what I mean? Just embodying that energy, you know? You know what I'm saying? I feel like this comes after a time of some type of like letting go of a relationship. So it looks like, after letting go of this ex, it seems like you're starting to just, get hopeful again about the dating scene. Shit, it feels like, it might be a little bit of a gamble stepping back out there, but shit, why not? I feel like some of you guys are worried about moving on because you feel like this person might get mad if they find out you're moving on. So I feel like you're trying to keep relationships private. If you are starting to move on, I think you're trying to keep relationships on the download because this person might have anger management issues, low key or high key. So you might want to keep these personal relationships, on the down low if you are starting to move on. you know. So I'm just like, male or female, this person could have like an anger management issue for sure. So I'm just like, just be careful, you know. Uh, this person, if they see you moving on or something like that, they might feel like you're manipulating them. You know what I mean? They might feel like they're getting played because they see like, you're hiding relationships. I don't know. Maybe they feel like it's a control thing. Maybe they're losing control over the relationship. Hold on just one second, man. All right, dude. But yeah, I would just be careful with who you're messing with. You know what I'm saying? Because this person might feel like you lied to them. Say, like, if you're like, oh, I'm not going to move on, or I'm not going to be dating too fast, or anything like that, if you told them for reassurance and stuff like that, just be careful to keep your relationships private when it comes to this ex because they're going to feel like you lied to them, you manipulated them, and they're going to feel like they got played. So that's going to spark up also some type of jealousy, some type of rage in this person if you are moving on, Libra. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, just be careful if you're moving on, especially if this person has anger management, dude. Not above the law. Get a restraining order. You know what I mean? Mm. I don't know. For some of you guys, you could have possibly had a pregnancy scare with this person. You know what I mean? Or something like that. I don't know why pregnancy scare is coming up or pregnancy test. So, for the fence, maybe you should think about it. Maybe you should look into it. You know what I mean? But just be careful with this person. You know what I mean? But like goodness gracious, you already see enough crazy stuff in the world, I'm gonna pull you out an angel number and then I'm gonna do six. 77, perseverance, uh, perspective shift, reflection, resilience, inner wisdom, enlightenment, determination. Now is the time to shift your perspective on the challenges that are to achieve, currently dominating your life. To achieve success, continue on the path with determination, tap into your inner wisdom, and you will intuitively know what steps next to take. Excuse me. 77. This is your reading, Libra. Have a good morning. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or good night, whatever just feels right. Bye, love.